Okay, friends, here is the most recent handwritten, hand-delivered letter from Ms. Sarah Looney Boone. Suitcase Sarah Looney Boone. Okay, yeah, that's just me saying that. I know, poor girl's having a rough time, but George did too. But I will say, again, she does deserve to have proper representation. She's going to tell us about her 6 attorneys that she's had. And I will let you the people, be the judge. So it looks like it was written on June 29th, 2023, hand delivered. If y'all watched, we saw her do it. And you'll hear my voice moving around because I'm going to keep this up here so you can kind of see it. But I've got to move around because her writing, her penmanship is lovely, as I've said before, but sometimes it makes it difficult to read. Okay, revision made on 7/20/23. Original not updated to date. Second attempt to make public, like everything else in my case, including all my other letters. Freedom of speech, mine. Okay. All for your review, critique, judgment, understanding. Try it. Okay. So it starts off with clarify, underlined, to become or make clear. Clarity. Clearness, per the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Where do I even start? Through the officer, inmate grapevine, and a letter I received from my fan mail. Apparently, my understanding is she has fan mail out there. There's different, I guess, groups. Now, I've to be fair, I have not found them. I'm not saying I'm sure they're there. Everybody, has somebody. Anyhow. And usually the only way I find anything out regarding my care, since there is no communication. She likes writing in those big caps and underlining the words for emphasis. No communication from my current attorney. Now 10 weeks more of complete silence. And yes, my 6th attorney, which I will clarify momentarily. I was made aware my last letter was featured on the news locally, realistically, meaning globally. Apparently, my very legitimate, lawful, real questions and concerns I asked and am still caused a stir. And I'm sorry, her words, like I said, they're written beautifully, but they are hard to read. Okay, real questions, apparently my very legitimate, lawful, real questions and concerns I asked and am still caused a stir on top of the already engulfing whirlpool my care has become and made out to look like, which it is not. Hence, my previous questions from said letter. I am trying to protect and maintain my truth, which no one knows. Well, we know. We saw a little bit of it. You showed us your own damn self. Anyhow, since no one else will, however I can, and keep some of the illicit ugliness at bay. Mismanagement at its finest in everything. Why wasn't I included? This is big. Which he did do this time. He made sure, the judge made sure he did. Why wasn't I included at all? Why wasn't I asked prior to being highlighted so I would know what was said or asked or criticized so I could rightfully defend myself? What was so newsworthy? By not including me is unfair, underlined, and adds to the assumptions of what everyone wants me to end up being and thinks I am. This is wrong and also adds to the prejudgment of my... We're going to get to the next page. Oh my. Okay. It also adds to the prejudgment of my care. All of the idiotic theories, empty opinions, false accusations is all the ignorance of the ignorant world knows from all the pertinent private case details available to everyone except me, the defendant, in my care, underline. How can I defend myself? I can't, so everything gets meaner, more evil, corrupt, and out of control. All right. I believe this is what a trial is for, right? The world is supposed to learn everything about any care during the trial, right? This is not justice or a system, right? All fairness has been completely removed, right? So were any of my questions answered? Was anything at all clarified regarding evaluations, amendment violations, case sensitivity protection, suppression? Who's the video? Does it say who? The video hit count reached what? Oh, okay. The video count reached now. My last letter, it was over 3 million. How much does that shareable income make for everyone? Did anyone locate my attorney or discovery? Everything everyone everywhere in the world knows, has seen, or listened to. All of my discovery, caps and underlined, again, except me. In the meantime, here's a corner piece to my convoluted puzzle. All are wondering when it will finally be put together to see what the real picture is. And also a huge oh wow. It's not that I don't know the word, but her handwriting, like I said, it's lovely, but it's hard for me to read. Disentanglement, is that what it's saying? Also a huge disentanglement of only an inkling of some of the misunderstandings and ignorance swirling about in my care. Before you try wearing my slides, know where they've been. Well, I don't think I want to know her. And see, she used the slides humor on her last letter. I mean, not to be critical, but you know, until you've walked a mile in my slides, whatever. Okay. My attorneys, 6. When, and as I've said numerous times in my previous letters, why not by choice, I am on a 6th attorney. Here is some clarity so everyone can finally have some understanding why my slides are so worn, but most definitely walkable still. Oh yeah, I believe that. You're just a little tiger there, aren't you, Sarah? Okay. Attorney number 1, private, February 2020 through May 2020. Well, that wasn't very long, was it? 3 months. No, 2022. 2 years. Dang, what happened to him? Or her? This attorney said, sold me the world, promised exoneration, and supplied an overabundance of other continuous false hopes so I would accept his offer to become my attorney. He had no idea what my care was going to be or was really about. Then he deserted me. His client. I believe it says naive and new. 2 weeks before my first scheduled trial due to irreconcilable differences. Does sound like a marriage, doesn't it? Meaning I was not persuaded enough to agree with what he wanted me to say or do, and was not what happened. There was no trust. There was no strategy, and if there was, I was never included in on it, or an innumerable amount of other care, defining details, and questions left unanswered before going to trial. My battery is low on my laptop, so let me get that plugged in. So I'm just wondering, did number 1, we'll just pretend we can call it her court husband, number 1. Did he give her a lot of false hopes, or was he actually making good sense, saying, hey, maybe take this deal or that deal and you won't, be in there for life? But I mean, I'm just speculating. I'm only speculating. Because, let's face it, she's not unlike Brooks. She's definitely a narcissist. Things are not fair. But at least she hasn't given up on an attorney and represented herself. But I guess that could still be, couldn't it? Okay, there we go. Oh, much better. Okay. I felt he was, sabotaging my care and setting me up for failure due to his micro amount of experience, which I found out after the fact and was not disclosed prior to my acceptance of his representation. In my macro size care. Nonetheless, when we did meet to discuss my case, and I asked for updates about any progress, he would start talking to me about his client in Columbia, his clown of a sister-in-law, his nephew going to water parks, trips he's taken, his regrets, where he bought his gold sneakers, and many other unrelated, unimportant, time-consuming stories. All the while, I'm trying to figure out what's going on and why he's not answering any of my questions. Well, maybe he was proud of his gold sneakers. And who knows? I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't do that. You know, sometimes people will just talk about everyday things to kind of make things more at ease. I'm not defending this guy. Hey, but at least he was there for that amount of time. But I mean, it just seems like he was not, to her liking. And did she have the money for him? Well, she did say private. I don't know. I mean, how much does she have? So she's trying to figure out what's going on and why he's not answering any of my questions. Nothing was ever completed or accomplished or communicated. Building 1,000 fires, waiting and needing to be put out before making another to be left ablaze. I was always ignored and in the dark, conjuring the dreadful perpetual question mark looming still over my head. So much. I prepared an 8-page packet for Judge Wayne C. Wooten. I bet he was thrilled to provide during both court dates, defending myself against my attorney's untrue, unresearched withdrawals. No one asked me, nor permitted to speak my truth to help him and the court understand my real concerns, along with all the carryover since day one. I was trying to avoid, underlined, going through any of this again. Going forward, it had already been 2 to 3 years. Right, up we go. I wanted the judge to include me. That's her word, include me. That kind of goes with what she said about George. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. And I fell asleep. Okay. And know that I have a side also in everything. Oh, we know that. But I knew Judge Wooten, I'm going to move this up a little, guys, sorry. I knew Judge Wooten would be appointing my next attorney in hopes he would listen and appoint a more suitable, experienced one accordingly to save time for everyone to progressively move forward. He must have been throwing darts at a dartboard, blindfolded. Ooh, she say that about the judge? See, again, this is where I will say, as annoyed, and she's a Looney Tune Boone, she does deserve to have proper representation. That is one thing I agree. But I think all of this negativity towards the judge is not going to be helpful for her. That's just me. But anyhow, so attorney number 1, husband only in court, and attorney number one, okay, is untrustworthy, unreliable, unprofessional, with poor leadership skills, and is extremely unorganized. Now, see, I don't know. I'm just saying, as far as this one, she's sounding a bit nitpicky. I mean, she ought to be glad that anyone was there, because I don't think anyone really wants to touch this one. He was unable to perform ethically, and as an adult, ignoring his client, misleading and deceiving. He didn't even respect me enough to speak with before his withdrawal to try and remedy or figure anything out to stop. I was totally blindsided. But man, if she's saying all those, I wonder how many letters are there letters in there we can find that she wrote about number one? Anyhow, so because of the magnitude of his ineptness, dereliction of duty, as a result, withdrawing from my care at the 11th hour after taking over 2 years with nothing I knew of but disappointment, I could have reported him to the Florida bar for legal malpractice. Exhaustion 1. Did it, Sarah, really? Because I don't think anything really exhausts you. I'm just saying. I'm being sarcastic and I'm trying to be humorous, so I don't know. Sarah Looney Boone. Okay. Including well over 100 pages of my handwritten notes. Well, that's probably what made him want to go jump the bridge. Okay. So she was going to report him. Okay. All of my care files. I know, every time, and maybe they are called, oh, you know what? I keep saying care. Y'all have got to forgive me. I was starting to get really annoyed and say, she acts like she's at a hospital, and, well, maybe she is at one, but it's case files. I did this before. Excuse me. I said care, but it means it's case files. Good gosh. Okay, this is a long letter. So apologize. I kept saying care files, and I kept thinking that does not fit because, yes, of course she deserves the proper care, but case files. Okay. All of my case files and documents obtained and occurred during his representation, including well over 100, pages of my handwritten notes and information, which is irreplaceable. He is still not helping. He is still not helping. Him no longer being my attorney was not my choice. Okay, but you might have been a little bit critical there and ran the poor fellow off. He might have been a younger guy and would have been just fine. I mean, you need somebody a little bit younger to keep up with this energy you got here. Okay. Attorney number 2, 3, and 4. Okay, public defenders. So the first one, she paid for. And let's face it, he probably just said, there ain't enough money, woman. You can pay me to go through this craziness with you and have to read all your handwritten damn letters. Okay, so public defenders appointed by Judge Court, May 22nd through June 22nd. Judge Wayne C. Wooten and the court repeatedly appointed me public defenders 3 without any research, or I think that time was care instead of case. And after I continuously explained to each and tried to the judge court they could not represent me due to their representations of the decedent. Oh, so these attorneys had been George's attorneys. Well, that would be a conflict of interest. And after I continuously explained to each and tried to the judge court they could not represent me due to their representing of the decedent. Why not say my deceased boyfriend, George, whom I miss dreadfully? We've done our homework, I was told. I received 3 withdrawals, none by choice, definitely not systematic. Well, let's face it, it's going to be tough. Attorney number 5, conflict, appointed by judge court June 22nd through July 22nd, so they had a month relationship. Upon our first and only meeting, the attorney expressed his confusion and why he was appointed by Judge Wooten, as he was leaving for a teaching job out of Orlando within the week. Oh boy. I learned more from this attorney in one meeting regarding my case than all prior combined. It was extremely disheartening he could not continue representation and set the bar going forward, especially regarding honesty and respect. Well, that's good. I received only 2 letters from him. Well, I mean, to be fair, he wasn't there that long. Introduction, withdrawal. He also did not know where any of my discovery was or notes. Now, 5 attorneys later, not by choice. Okay, so now we're going to go to number 6. And the current one, Mr. Bankowitz, right? Whoops. Conflict. Okay, so I'm looking at my time on this too. Appointed by Judge Court, July 2022 to present. 1 year mark was July 11th, 23. 12 months, 365 days, 52 weeks. Summarized. 8 total months, 240 days and counting, are with absolutely no communication in any form, completely inactive. Well, I'm looking at my time again too. Sorry, guys. Okay. Hang on. Okay, I might be redundant on some of this with attorney number 6. But, so, I think on attorney number 5, I said like June 22nd through July 22nd, but I actually meant just they were a month apart, and the year was 2022. But anyhow, so we will start where it says right here in caps. No communication in any form, completely inactive. Total amount of hours as court-appointed attorney, over 8,760. Total times met with client, me, 6. Total hours spent with client, 7. Total phone numbers given to client from attorney, 2. Numbers that work, 0. Total times speaking to client via phone, 0. Total number of 15-minute video visits with client, 4. Total number of letters sent to attorney trying to communicate, 8. Total number of letters to the judge trying to communicate my unsuccessful communication with my attorney in hopes he will communicate with him to communicate with me, 7. Letters to other parties to communicate, 3. Total times in court, 3. 1 was an attempted withdrawal, 2 carryover and over. The last time I saw my attorney was May 18th, 2023. Where is the progress after entire complete year? Unknown. This is us, because she's saying on here, or on page 6, everyone. Please look on the Orange County, Florida clerk of the court's website and see for yourself. Oh, I will be going back there. Am I looking at it wrong? Reading the contents incorrectly? The vast majority of work seems to be from my correspondence. If not my letters, there's minutes, some live, to view from my non-progressive, lackluster court dates, stating the same information and same continuance, and of course, none of my comments, concerns, or questions from any. I don't just sit there. Edited, like my case. I feel it important also to communicate to everyone so you understand the undertaking it is for an inmate to attend court and why it is so important to me to have progress, to report, to make the day count. We are woken up at 3 a.m., taken to a holding cell, and wait plus 4 hours, then taken to the courthouse and put in another holding cell for however many hours until court time, for only a 5 to 10 minute opportunity in front of the judge to say anything, if at all. Then taken to another holding cell for however long, transported back to another holding cell, wait however long, then taken to another holding cell, then back to our dorm. Most court dates are court days, spending between 8 to 14 hours for little to no time to speak. It's important to me, us, we matter. Hence my letters. What will be said for this one, I wonder? Like Lois looking to the skies for Superman. Oh my. I'm hoping, praying for an attorney to step up and truly represent me with honesty, intensity. I'm assuming it's going to say understanding, but let me make sure. Understanding, respect, and perspective. When they introduce themselves, they can meet also the real me properly, not the Frankenstein monster I'm being so wrongfully and incorrectly pieced together as from all the propagandized, lucrative defamation and attempted destruction of my character and still intact integrity. Clearly, also everyone can see all of the aforementioned information regarding my attorney was not ever a strategy of mine, nor will be. Is it a strategy of the judge and court? Judge Wooten. Oh boy. Will I be included, please, in my upcoming status, which would be the one she was just at, I believe. Hearing to my, is it PT? Okay, PTC, which is also the 1 year mark of attorney number 6 on 7/11/23. Will I be permitted? I was not in attendance. I was not in attendance from you like all the news channels and professional YouTubers. YouTubers, I finally see my attorney, whom will, I'm sure, tell me, as you so graciously explained to me in my last PTC I was made a part of, consuming my minutes of your invaluable time, that you and he have other clients. I am a client and have been for over a year with this attorney. Well, that was Freudian. It's eternity with this attorney, and paid tax dollars to utilize all of my available resources. Suppose we did too, including and not limited to state government attorney appointed by the court. And you will always have clients. You never know when you become when, bleh. And you will always have clients. You never know when you may become one yourself. Please do not discredit my truth. I am who, not what. Respectful and diligent, Sarah Boone. She does have a beautiful signature. But, so I will say, to be fair, in all fairness, would it be fair to say that Mr. Bankowitz does not want to be there? That's obvious. And I'm not saying I can't blame him. But, however, he should be, doing whatever it is to make her feel like she's listened to. And he, chances are he probably ain't going to have gold shoes like attorney number 1. But, yeah, I would say probably this one has kind of neglected her, and it is her right. That part is her right. Now from there, just probably like Mr. Bankowitz is thinking, how the hell is he gonna, get her off from doing this thing? But it's her right, and he should try, definitely. But I still really question these letters she pens to the judge, because she's kind of, well, no, she is. She's pointing fingers at him and accusing him. And I just don't know if that's the best idea. But hey, it's her case, not mine, right? You do you, boo. Okay, so here we are. We're down to the next dates. Now, whether they're going to stick or not, I don't know. But as you can see, the pre-trial is set for Wednesday, September 20th at 9 a.m. And the trial, I guess, allegedly will begin Monday, October 2nd at 9 a.m. So, we will see. We will see. I know he kind of, I felt like it was kind of tentatively set, but I think he wanted, the judge wanted to, Judge Wooten wanted to, get something set up. Because clearly Mr. Bankowitz does need a bit of a nudge, and Sarah probably could tone it down a little bit. Just everybody, get their crap together is all I can say. But, so, oops, let me get that back up. Come on now. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry if it sounded a little painful, me trying to read the letter. Number one, I don't see well, as I've said, but also, why is that so blurred? Also, good grief. Oh, that's better. Also, like I said, her handwriting is very loopy. That's not Freudian, is it? But it's beautiful handwriting is generally very difficult to read. Like mine is very unattractive, but it's legible. So hopefully it was there for you to look at yourself too, and you can always read it at your leisure as well. But I just thought I would share the joy with you, and she's probably penning another letter right now as we speak. But I did want to say I didn't even really give you a proper hello when I first got on. I was just kind of like, okay, let's get this letter. And I pulled it up a few days ago, but for some reason I've just had not really technical challenges, just other things coming up where I had to go do this, do that. It's almost time for me to go back to school with the children of the corn. And so that's always an interesting, exciting, and scary time. You always feel anxious though when you start, because you've been away from them, and now you got to get back into the swing of things. But so there it is. And I was also going to tell you all that the other day, Southern Law and Lawyer, and I'll put this in the description. Those are two channels. They're my go-to channels. Southern Law, like he knows, because, well, both of these guys are lawyers. Southern Law, he just breaks it down very easily for somebody like me who is a novice, and also, he just has the best subtle sarcasm and humor, and he's just very chill. Probably a lot of you have seen him, and if you have, you might even rather hear him. Well, by now you've already heard me. Never mind. Just shut up, Sally. Okay. So, anyhow, yeah, check him out, because when he was reading the letter the other day, it was very, very funny. The comments he would inject in there, very, very funny. And plus, he knows his stuff, so he can break it down. And I think he lives in North Carolina. And Lawyer, is actually a neighbor of mine. He lives over, I think over in the West Coast I say West Coast from here, Tampa. It's just about an hour from me. I'm in the central part of the state. And he's over near Tampa area. And he's really good about breaking it down too. I mean, like, he says what he thinks and all that, but he also says, yes, Sarah does deserve, her due representation, and she probably has been ignored, but everyone knows she's, well, I don't want to try to speak for them, but you know what I'm saying. But those are two great channels to go to. They're, like I said, my go-to channels, because since I'm just commenting and giving my opinions, I don't really know anything about this stuff. It's just interesting to me. But they can break it down for you a lot better. So I will put those two in the description. And I hope everyone's doing well. It is really, really hot here. I mean, I know it's Florida, but it's just, just like if you live up north, the winters seem long. Our summers seem very long here. But I just say thank God for AC, and we just hope we don't get a bunch of sinkholes. Every state has their thing, don't they? But anyhow, hope y'all are doing wonderful. Thank you so much for watching, for commenting, and y'all are awesome. You all are so nice and so funny and so intelligent. It's fun to have fun and make fun of some of these people. So I will stop blathering on. I do that when I'm kind of tired, but I will stop for now. But you all go out, be kind to one another. Don't forget to be kind to yourself. And I will see you all the next time. Love you much. Bye.